Okay, so welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. It's so nice to be back. So I apologise first about not making a video since like 4 or 5 days ago. I've just been busy with a few things. However, I will still do the gory Halloween look for you guys, even though it's not Halloween anymore. I'll make it different so it can still be a scary, spooky look. So that will be still coming up for you guys. But today I thought let's do a short and sweet one for you guys. Now I have been asked many times on my socials if I could do an eyebrow routine, just something like the makeup that I use. So I'll be doing that today. So it's going to be a short one today, but it's going to be like a tutorial based one. And also I promised you guys to give you an updated review on how the lipstick wore on my skin. So if you are interested, please continue to watch. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also if you do have suggestions on anything for me to try or tutorials to do, whether it's hair, beauty, makeup, or even just talking videos, let me know in the comments and I will definitely put that on my list as well. But let's go ahead and get into this review. Okay, so I tried the Maybelline New York Superstay Matte Ink Lipstick. Now, like I said, this colour is beautiful. This is the one that caught my eye the most, which is kind of like it's like a dark rose colour. It's like a brownie pinky colour. This one was really beautiful when I put it on. Now the review itself, like I said, the bottle I quite like. It's quite like small. It's quite, you know, the shape is decent. You can put it in your handbag, travel size, whatever. Now the applicator itself, I will say this, I don't mind it because it's quite clean and crisp. However, because it's like bigger than your actual like your width of your lip, especially for me because my lips are quite small, but I feel like a smaller application would be even better. This one's just slightly big for me personally, but for you guys you might find it helpful. Now as the colour and consistency goes, the colour is perfect. The consistency goes on really smoothly and really well. I can't fault it for me personally. However, the wear, so obviously the few hours afterwards, now I noticed that things were transferring. So for me personally, if I go for a matte lipstick, something that's not going to come off, this one is the Superstay, so it's meant to stay on quite a long time. Now obviously when you're, you know, having drinks or you're eating, or, you know, sometimes the lipstick was transferring onto stuff, and that for me is not nice for me. I don't like it. So I'm not really a big fan of lipsticks anyway, but I thought I wanted to try some for you guys. Now this is my honest opinion here, but it transferred quite a lot when I was doing stuff like I was eating or drinking, and to some people it might be okay because lipstick obviously like can transfer. It was transferring quite a lot actually, but the thing I will say though is that it did stain my, not stain my lips, but it was actually harder to get off than I thought. So it definitely does stay on your lips, that's 100% correct. However, I think there's too much transferring when I'm doing stuff. I don't like it. So personally for me, this is definitely something I would wear on a night out or doing a makeup look, or I would wear daily, but it wouldn't be something I go to if I want something that is going to not transfer. And there is other lipsticks out there. I think like Jeffree Star did his own, like I don't know if he still sells them, but I tried one of his lipsticks one time and they were really good. Like I like lipsticks that you put on and they dry matte and they don't transfer or come off. You can get stuff like that, and for me that's my kind of go-to lipsticks. This one is perfect. It does definitely stay on all day, 100%, but it does transfer if you're, you know, say if you're having to use, I don't know, eating or drinking. I don't know what else you'll do with your lips, but you know, or if you're like, or even like say if you're like, I don't know, kissing or something, like it's going to transfer quite a bit. But however, I will say this, if you want something that's going to stay, like as actually stain a little bit your lips, I would say go for this. But the stainage wise, like it took me a while to scrub that off my lips. I was using my micellar water, I was using makeup wipes, I was using a flannel, like a rag to wash it off, and it was taking a long time to get off. So it does stain and it does stay on quite well. However, transfer, it is matte, but I feel like it transfers too much. Maybe I put too much on, maybe I put too much of a layer on. So maybe what I can do is maybe try a thin layer and build it up and see if that works better rather than going in heavy to start with. So for me, out of 10 I would rate this probably a 7. I would say if you're into lipsticks and you like stuff that stains and stays, but you don't mind too much transfer, I would say go for this. Now you might find it different. For example, like I will try it again and give it another fair shot, because I feel like every product deserves another fair shot. However, if you use it and you find that it works best for you, that's absolutely fine. For me personally, I would wear it again only maybe when I'm doing looks, or if I wanted something on a short-term basis, like, because sometimes with me, my lip products, like lip gloss and stuff doesn't really work well with me. I think it's an overstimulation thing, you know, when you're like, when everything sticks to your lips and stuff. So for me, I would definitely rate it 7 out of 10, and I would say definitely go for it if you're wanting something that stains your lips and is quite vibrant, because this was quite hard to get off, but I eventually did have to scrub and scrub and scrub. But there is some transfer. But like I said, I will probably try it again later on, and I will give you a different review, maybe do it like a thin layer at a time and see if that changes it for you guys. I could even do it in this video really, but I feel maybe I put too much on. But anyway, that's the review for this one. There is plenty of colours out there for you guys, so if you're wanting a light colour or a skin based colour, there is plenty out there to choose from. Like I said, if you guys have tried it or you are wanting to try it, let me know how it goes. It might be better for you guys, but personally it's a 7 out of 10 for me for this kind of brand, especially this one. Maybelline's products is really good, and this is definitely good, but there is better ones out there when it comes to matte lipsticks. So I will try it again for you guys and make sure I give you a different review to see if it works best when it's like thin layer rather than a thicker layer. However, yeah, so that is a review. Okay, so like requested from many people, I'm going to show you an updated eyebrow routine for me personally with makeup. Also, if you have noticed, I have dyed my hair recently as well. So I've gone for dark with the winter times and to see how it looks. I do miss my red all the time, but I probably will go red back after Christmas. But with the eyebrow, so obviously this, I have obviously spoke about what I used previously. Now I am looking to try different kind of brands and different kind of eyebrow products. I'm not a personal fan of, do you know them gel applicator ones you can get, where you can kind of, it's similar to this really. You can, it's like a gel consistency and it's coloured, but you can just like brush it on. For me personally, I'm not a fan of them, but I don't mind pencil, I don't mind pomade, but yeah, pomade is usually what I go for. So my one I use is a Revolution brow pomade in medium brown. So there it is at the back. It's just a black tip here, and obviously it is well used. So I use that all the time. I never use any other products. Like I said though, I wouldn't mind trying different ones. I have tried pencils before and they can be really good. However, I feel like I really love the pomade with a very fine brush, because I love to pencil it on like with a brush and make sure like to put it in the place that I want to have it. So now I'm going to use my Mange Angled Brow and Shadow Brush 17. Now, like I said before in my previous videos, I do buy a range of sets of, you know, makeup brushes from either Shein or Amazon or eBay. I never usually buy expensive brands. Now, the only expensive brand that I've bought before is Real Techniques, which is I don't know if it's a UK based one. But their kind of product is like, you get 20, but you spend like that 20 quid and you'll get like 5 brushes. That, to me, that's expensive. But this is more like a drugstore low end kind of thing you can get here. So my channel was all about like cheap and affordable as well for you guys. So, you know, it's never going to be too expensive for you guys. I will try some expensive products, but like I said, I'm more like a drugstore based makeup person. Okay, so we're going to use this brush. I do have 2 of these. This one's got an actual like I think it's like a blender concealer brush at the end of it, which I can use as well, but I'm going to use that for my eyebrows, which I always use a really fine tooth brush. And then to set them, I use the Revolution Makeup Evolution London. It is the clear brow gel. Now it is clear, but like I said before in many videos, it is slightly coloured now because I have been using it so much. It is relatively new though, but it's so hard not to it's so hard not to colour it because you're using it all the time, but it's just a little applicator like that, which is very tiny. It's quite cute. I get the translucent colour because I don't like any colour on my eyebrows extra. I don't think there's anything else I'd use really. It's just pomade and that really. Obviously I take a while to do my eyebrows. Now I have got, excuse my breakouts as well at the moment, but so my eyebrows have been freshly plucked yesterday. So they are quite freshly plucked. As you can see, they're very clean and very kind of defined. So I like to kind of like either shave or pluck until I get to like just on top of my brow bone here. Because I like to kind of shape it myself, especially when it comes to eyebrow pencil. I do need to cut them a bit at the end, but yeah, look alright. Okay, so I'm going to dip into this colour. So usually what I do is I coat the whole end of the brush. So we have each side is filled with product. However, I usually go in with a little cotton pad, and I will shake off and wipe off the excess because I don't like it to be clumps on the end. So what I do is I fill all the bristles with the product, I wipe off the excess, and then what I do is I then dip in with the very end of it into the product, so you have a thin layer at the end. And what that does is just prevents clumps and the product kind of clumping together, because otherwise what's going to happen is it transfers on your eyebrows and you'll find it hard to kind of blend it out. But I did used to have a spoolie to kind of brush and go like, but it kind of fell off somewhere, so I don't know where it went. But yeah, let's get to it. So as you can see, nothing's on my eyebrows at the moment. So what I usually do is I start with the top of my arch. Now I like my arches to be, usually what they say is they say your eyebrow should start here from where your kind of inner eye is, and then the arch should be where your eye actually ends here apparently, or is at the end of it. So I think, if I'm right in thinking, it's got to come maybe the pupil or something, I think it is. So it's like, it starts here. I'm not makeup artist, by the way. So it definitely starts here. So when your eye actually starts, that's meant to be where your eyebrow starts. So that's definitely correct on my side. And then if we go to the pupil and up, that's where your arch should be. And then if you go to the end of your eye, that's where it should be to kind of finishing off. I do go a little bit higher than that though. So I'm just going to go with the arch here. That's usually the first place that I go. I'm just going to dip back into that pomade. Now with the front of the brow, what I usually do is I go kind of like, I don't go straight to the actual end because I like to feather it out. So yeah. Right, I'm just going to start with underneath. And then what I usually do is I take it out. This is going to be kind of weird to do it on the... It's quite hard to do it on this camera, but I'm trying to do it so you guys can see. So what I usually do is I do an arch from about... I'd say there's a quarter here or so that's not been touched. So I do a smooth line all the way under. Now you can create your arch however you want. You can follow your natural brow, however, like I said, it's a bit crooked, but we'll fix it, don't worry. It takes me a while to do mine. So obviously you may have your eyebrows already done, as in like you don't pluck them further than what I do, so you can easily just follow the shape of yours. Mine personally finish a bit earlier than I need to, so I kind of fill them in how I want to. Now usually with the top of the brow, I go with obviously where my brow ends at the top, and then I just feed it all the way over. I usually like to go in a diagonal towards my hairline and then come down. Just like that. So like you see, I'm doing a straight line towards my hairline, but I always like that sharp bend here that goes down. And then like you see, now my eyebrows can be slightly patchy. I think it's due to obviously how my hair grows. Now my hair naturally colour wise is like a mousy brown. I've not had mousy brown hair in how many years, since I was younger, so there is it's probably why it's slightly patchy, but also because I actually shave mine and I have kind of patches of hair in certain areas, if you get what I'm saying. So it's very hard for me. So for example, I might have to go over a certain section a few times, but this may stay a little bit patchy, and that's okay. There's nothing really I can do about that, in my opinion. I can always go back over it so many times, but it might just be patchy though. It's always been like this. So like I said, this is my starting point. So I like mine to be quite arched. I like mine to kind of hook over. I don't like my eyebrows to go too much this way. Like, do you know when they kind of finish and they go towards the head? I don't like it when they're like that. I like it when they shape your eyes. And then just take the rest of the product and just feed it into them brow hairs. I never go to the front. Like I said, I'm going to use... When I use my brow setting gel, I kind of blend everything in anyway. And then it ends up being nice and smooth. Now underneath, I'm definitely needing some more product because, especially with me recently doing my eyebrows and actually styling them with tweezers, I need to fill in the places that I'm missing. So there's a starting point. I'm happy with how the brow's forming. For me, this is my ideal brow that I go for. Sometimes it's thinner than this, sometimes it's never thicker than this. I never go thicker. I'm just going to show you what it looks like once I blend out the rest of it. So I'm going to take my Revolution brow gel on the end of the spoolie, and I'm just going to brush the hairs upwards. And then I'm going to take each side and just brush it into the brow and all the way over to make sure it sets, and just keep going back and forth until you're happy with how it blends out. Like you see here though, it's starting to blend out even more. I like mine to be quite fluffy but not really too hectic, you know. Just a nice natural big bushy brow, that's what I like. So like you see now, we are completely kind of blended out. The brow's looking a lot better than it did before. But like you see here, we've got slight patchiness because of how my hair grows, which is okay, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. But for you guys, it'd be different because you may have more kind of bushier brows, or you may have a natural like arch here. But me personally, I kind of pluck mine. So it's exactly the same thing on this side. I'm just going to take it under the arch first. And about oh. See what I'm saying? Like straight away I already get like lines going out everywhere. I don't like to hide stuff on this channel. I like to be real here, because realistically, who has a perfect eyebrow when they do their makeup? So again, I'm just going to follow the natural lines of my brow, but I'm going to have to go overextending them because I kind of plucked enough off that I don't have a normal full brow. So like I said, I'm just following the natural shape, but I'm adding kind of more thickness to the top area only to kind of make that kind of arch shape. Now for you guys, you might actually prefer a thinner brow, you might prefer even thicker than this, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone's totally different. Isn't it crazy though how brows can change over the years? I remember like in school, I can't remember, did I even do my brows in school? I think even if I did it, it'd be like my brows were either really thin, or I don't think I ever went with bushy brows, if I'm honest with you. I think I kind of plucked them too thin, and that wasn't very good. Right, I'm going to blend this one out with my brow gel. This is not really for blending, it's more for setting, but I kind of do both at the same time. So again, I'm just going to go and brush them out, and then make sure to come back to the front and really kind of blend that out. As you can see, we are getting a nice brow here, a nice shape is forming. I'm just going to go over each one with some more pomade to make sure I'm happy with the shape. And then what I'm going to do for the last steps is show you guys how to conceal it if you want to. I never usually conceal it naturally unless I need to cover up some stuff, like for this one instantly. So I'm just going to go back over with my eyebrow stuff and make sure that I like how it looks. So I usually use concealer when it comes to eyeshadow looks, and I will show you how to kind of cut your eyebrows with that. But also, you know, the only other way that I use concealer is if I have made a mistake or I need to sharpen it up. Now for this one personally, it looks okay, but underneath I just want to kind of sharpen it up just a little bit. So I'm just going to go over it once more. Make sure that I'm happy with how it's filling out. So the end does need a bit of tidying up, but it's okay. I'm happy with that, it's just the end needs kind of concealing a little bit to make it sharper. And on this side, I need a little bit more to make it thicker on the arch. See, the mistakes I make when I'm doing my eyebrows is crazy. I just made a mistake there, but it's okay, we can clear it up. So I'm going to grab my concealer, which is the Maybelline Eraser one, and a flat brush, which is the same sort of brand that I've been using. This is just a flat concealer one. As you can see, it's very flat and dense. I'm just going to apply some product onto the ends of my brush, and I'm going to go into my brows and kind of clean them up. Now when you're cleaning, if you are wanting to clean your brows up like I am, just make sure to start underneath the arch first and go slowly, because obviously, you know, it will kind of erase all the mistakes. So like I'm saying, so I'm just going to go in underneath, and I'm just going to have a steady hand and a bit of a firm pressure so we can get in there. Now I'm just going to go and clean up any kind of mistakes that I've made. As you can see, we're already kind of getting to... Now underneath I'm not going to get it perfect because, like I said, my hair, how it grows is kind of crazy. With the up, kind of, when you're doing the up, when you're doing the top of your brow, just make sure to use your other hand to steady it. And just go down just very gently and get rid of that little bit that's come on the bottom. So like you see now, we're getting to the place where it looks a bit more snatched and a bit more better than before. You don't have to do this step by all means. You can just leave your brows however you want. You might find that you might need to keep going into different, you know, back into the products, but it's fine. I quite like that. Obviously underneath you can see there's a tiny bit of coloration here, but I can't get rid of that. That's part of my hair growth. Like I said, my eyebrows grow really weird, but I'm happy with the overall kind of progression of how I'm doing. Now this one always goes wrong for some reason, so I'm just going to go underneath. I'm just going to clean this up. So when you're doing the clean up process, make sure to have your hand steady in your face like this to make it better for your support, but also like just take it slow and steady with a bit of a firm pressure so you can actually get rid of them lines without muddling up the rest of your eyebrow. So like I said, nice and firm, just slowly. And like you see, I'm just starting to create that shape again now. Now the top of it's not too bad. I will go on the ends because I like them to be quite thin, like that. Just wipe away any excess that comes off. I'm quite happy with that. I mean, like, this one's always thicker than this one, so it's not going to be exactly the same, but I think they're quite good. I like them. Now, like I said though, you can have yours thin, thicker, you can have yours more blocked out. Now I have seen, like, obviously various people's eyebrows. Now I personally don't like when you block it off too much here. Personally for me, I go for the more natural look where, you know, the ends of the eyebrows is pretty much not filled in. You kind of just blend it in yourself. Sometimes I even go for like hardly no colour here at all. I just like it to be a little bit natural, but you can go for whatever you like. If you like it to be more blocked out, go for it. If you don't, that's fine. Also, like, whatever colour you use, make sure that you find it in your own hair colour. For example, like, my hair colour, even when I have red hair, has always been light brown. So I usually go for a medium just to kind of give it, because medium on this pomade. So for the Revolution brow pomade in medium brown, it actually shows up as not a dark brown. It's quite light, like even lighter than this hair colour right now. So I usually go for medium brown on my kind of eyebrows, whether I have red hair or not. For you guys, if you have blonde hair, you might want to go with a I think it's called, is it tape or taupe? I can't pronounce it, but there's a colour specifically for, you know, blonder hair, and it's a dark blonde colour for your eyebrows, but you might want to go with lighter. For you guys that might have really dark brows, you might want to go with a black or a dark brown, or maybe mine. Like if you want this kind of like lighter shade, you're more than welcome to do that. They usually say to match your eyebrows with your hair colour, which I do agree on, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't always have to be the case. I feel like, say for example with my red hair, I would definitely not go for something that's black or that's blonde, because it just looks really awful. But I feel like for red hair, you'll go for like you could even go for like a light or medium brown. For some of you, you know, you might dye your eyebrows the same as your hair, you know, to kind of like match it up. For me personally, when I have dark hair, I stick to the same as red hair. If I was to have blonde hair, I would go for more of a lighter shade or a light brown. So it's just matching up really, however you feel. But like I said, if you want to go dark, you can go dark. But yeah, the Revolution Brow Pomade, in my opinion, has been a winner for me. I need to get a brand new one, which I will be getting very soon. It's actually my birthday month this month, so I am going to be doing a bit of shopping. I officially turned 30 in about, how many days is it now? So in about 21 days I turned 30, which is crazy. So we're starting my 30 era, which is very scary, but it's very fun. And also, I always use the Revolution Brow Gel. I've tried other ones and this one's my favourite so far. But yeah, I might try a few pencils out as well in the future. But I feel like for me, I find it more control when I'm using a brush to do my eyebrows. Like when I'm carving it out myself. The pencil can make it kind of precise as well. But I feel like having to keep going in and sharpening the pencil, and then, you know, I'm not sure how well it stays on your skin as well. For me, pomade, it stays quite good when you use like a brow gel to kind of like lock it in. The other things you can do to enhance your eyebrows, obviously I'm not doing much makeup today, but if you wanted to enhance your eyebrows even more on your face, I would say like make sure when you're doing your contour and your highlight, like for example, you'll put your highlight up here to make that brow kind of pop in that corner, so it kind of lifts it up a little bit. That's what my kind of advice would be. Also, like when you're doing your highlight, to make sure to put it on top, because what it does, it pulls it up, so it makes your eyebrow look a bit more arched and a little bit more lifted. You can add also some highlight into the corners here, and also your eye to make it kind of pop in that area. That also is my advice when you're doing makeup. I will show you guys more as we progress through this channel. But yeah, what other advice have I got really? I think it's like, for you personally, you'll find out your own kind of like routine. For me, I've always gone with pomades, and the brushes I use is pretty much a very defined brush. I need to get myself a spoolie, but I do kind of use this one anyway, which doesn't really matter, but it's quite small. So if you are looking for a pomade at the moment that's drugstore that I recommend without looking at others, I would say the Revolution is definitely a go-to. I will try others for you guys and see what is best out there. However, right now I'm going to give you my total honest review for this one that I've been using for ages now. I would highly recommend it if you wanting a decent coverage. It's not patchy on your skin. The colours are really nice and pigmented. They come in about 4 or 5 shades. I feel like we've got like black, dark brown, medium brown, light brown, and then we've got the blonde shade that I mentioned earlier. I don't think there's any more though. So it's like 4 or 5 of them, which is decent. And then yeah, so you get plenty of product. This has lasted me a long time, but sometimes you need to switch out the products to make sure that the consistency stays good. So if you're looking for a good, cheaper alternative to a pomade, I would recommend the Revolution one. I would literally like rate this probably a 9 out of 10 in my opinion. If you're looking for a brow gel, the Revolution one also is very good. This is probably definitely 10 out of 10 for me. I've used it for so long. But obviously I will be trying some other stuff in the process. So definitely watch out for my channel. And also for you guys, if you have any if you have any ideas for me on what to do, let me know. If you want to see any looks, or if you want to see any tutorials, or me trying any products, link them down below, or just message in the comments and I will literally put it on my list. I'm always looking for new stuff and crazy stuff to do as well. I've actually seen a few crazy products to try out in the future, and it's going to be pretty fun, so stay tuned. But as for that, this is my tutorial for my brows. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you took away some tips, and also my updated review for the lipstick. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.